You know what? Let John keep on thinking that he doing what it do. I'm gonna take one for the team, honey. What is up, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel now. The next thing that you guys said was a iffy topic for you guys, which was kind of surprising to me because, I mean, looking at myself, it is true. But looking at what society presents to us, we see women as the emotional ones, the ones that are booing, oh my god, and men are the strong ones. But most of you guys said the thing that you guys are uncomfortable talking about is your emotions and feelings. And that was really a bit, like, I found myself was like, what? But then I had to pull it back because I'm like, girl, that's you. They're talking about you. So a lot of you said you did not want to look vulnerable, as well as some of you said it just stemmed from a place of not being able to properly communicate your feelings and emotions. Like, I know I personally, when I'm upset and I'm angry and I try to talk about it, tears start running out of my eyes and my inner voice is like, get yourself together, girl. Like, why are you crying? What is you crying for? But tears just run out of my eyes. That's something I need to work on. Like, it's a process. We're working on it. But a lot of you said that being unable to communicate your emotions and feelings in a healthy and a proper way was one of the things that had you feeling uncomfortable about discussing your feelings and emotions, and especially with your significant others. Now, this can be a bit of a touchy topic because men and women, like, we don't think the same, we don't feel the like. And one thing I can tell you, ladies, one thing I can tell you, and I have learned, your tears don't move no man, okay? You can catch John doing whatever and you can cry you a river, honey. Them tears ain't, John is just looking at you like, His face might not be like that. He might be looking like, oh, Suzanne. But trust me, on the inside, John is looking at you like, Tears don't move, man. Effective communication is what does. Being unable or being afraid to voice your emotions and your feelings. Now, why this is not really healthy and it's something that we as women need to work on is because, at least from my experience, when you hold in emotions and refuse to address them and discuss them, it builds and it builds and it builds and it builds. And what happens to a river that keeps swelling with the tide? Eventually, it overflows. And you might not have any control over how those emotions eventually present themselves. You know what I'm saying? And it might not be beneficial to you, might not be beneficial to your partner. It might be hard, because trust me, it is hard for me too. I'm a thinker. I'm in my own mind. Like, if I feel a certain way, instead of just saying, I feel like this, my mind is gonna go like, okay, I feel like this. Before it comes out of my mouth, oh, but if I say this, how is this person gonna respond to that? So, oh no, I better not say that. Maybe I should say it this way. Oh, but they might respond to it like that. So, oh, let me not. And eventually what happens? Days pass. You never talked about it. The person already forgot about that issue. And then a week later, you like, and they're like, girl, what? When? Because they already forgot about it while you were internalizing and building and festering. And in the end, it only basically affected you. So one bit of advice that I can give for us as women to get over the fear and the awkwardness of discussing our emotions and our feelings is to do it in the moment. It might seem irrational because some people might think, oh, I might lash out. Do it in the moment. Number one, there's no chance for you to overthink it and begin to feel awkward or uncomfortable talking about it. 2, you're going to express exactly how you feel in that moment. There is no other way to get across your exact feeling and emotion concerning a specific thing other than doing it in the moment. A lot of people say, oh, Ting, just sleep on it. Maybe you'll realize that it was irrational and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's true. But we're talking here about getting over feeling awkward and uncomfortable about discussing certain topics. And if your feelings and how your emotions are something that's uncomfortable for you, you need to present those emotions and feelings before you can begin to overthink and become uncomfortable. And the next thing that you guys said that you were quite uncomfortable talking about, it's a big one. Sex and relationships. A lot of you women said you were uncomfortable discussing sex with your partner. You didn't want to talk about it, and especially you were uncomfortable telling your partner exactly what you wanted in the bedroom, what you desired in the bedroom. You felt a little awkward talking about sex and your relationship out of fear of conflict. Maybe if you say, John, I didn't like it this way, I would prefer you to do it that way. Maybe John will get all up in his feelings and think that, oh, you diminishing his manhood or whatever, so you prefer, like, you know what, let John keep on thinking that he doing what it do. I'm gonna take one for the team, honey. And some of you said you were uncomfortable discussing the issue of sex out of fear of being judged or labeled a hoe. Now, I can get what you're saying, because especially if you grew up in a super religious household where you better not even say, don't even say, they say, what you said? Sandwich. Oh, better be sandwich. Yeah. If you grew up like that, well then it becomes a bit awkward, because your entire life and your entire upbringing, you were encouraged to be, or I shouldn't say encouraged, you were discouraged from discussing sex and sexuality. And now when you're with your partner, how can you suddenly have knowledge and wisdom and be able to maneuver that topic when your entire life you were encouraged to be hushed about it? You know what I'm saying? So I can understand where that comes from, and it's pretty sad, because I'm just gonna say it, we're all human, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist. Sex was made for us to enjoy, okay? So there is no reason why you should be uncomfortable telling your partner what you want. Now, of course, it is out of your hands how your partner responds to what you have to say. But a bit of advice that I would give, it all goes back to not what you say, but how you say it. Be very careful of how you present the information. Obviously, don't be like, oh, don't do that, I don't like that. Because that will break anybody's spirit. Like, what if you were doing you and he said, oh, don't do that, I don't like that? You'd be embarrassed. Let's just be honest, you'd be embarrassed. My suggestion is deflect and reteach. Sorry guys, like, okay, just bear with me. Like, if your partner does something that they perhaps think is amazing but you find it not so enjoyable, one thing I would suggest is not to come plain out and say, I don't like that, because that's basically reiterating a bunch of negatives, and no matter what you say afterwards, that I don't like that rhythm is going in their head. We're gonna get a little bit candid here, okay? We're gonna get into it. Cover your ears if you're under a certain age. Cover your ears. Say your partner puts their hand on your boob, but you don't like that. Don't be like, I don't like that. Put your hand on their hand, and while you're gently moving it somewhere else, be like, oh my God, baby, you're so amazing. I just love you. What did they hear? They heard that they're amazing and you love them. They didn't even know that you moved their hand from your boobs. and then reteach. Place that hand where you want that hand to be and say, oh my gosh, I just love it when you touch me here or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Deflect and reteach. Now this might be a little bit too much hot and heavy. I'm not gonna go into more details now, but you get the picture. Deflect and reteach. And that in a way eliminates you from having to explain and verbalize and say exactly what you want. Like some people it's cool, but even for me, like I don't want to be sitting and be like, you know, I don't really like when you do this, but when you do this, it's really amazing. Maybe you should do this. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like, so those are a few of the things that you ladies said you felt kind of uncomfortable talking about. I hope that discussing it here with you guys and giving a few tips from my perspective helps you on your journey to grow in the way you express yourselves and being more comfortable talking and being open and vocal about these issues. Remember, you are bomb, you are enough, and you are popping, okay? Until next time, guys.